Hi, everybody watching us in this virtual space. Kevin La Peña here, and I am happy to welcome all of you to Adobo Talks, the business of creativity, a series of insightful and educational sessions where we're going to be taking a closer look at how creativity inspires and unleashes inventive solutions. So, here we look at creativity that not only delights and astounds, but more importantly, drives innovation and growth. So, amidst the turbulence of 2020, where brands and businesses experienced dramatic disruptions, the Tagline Group came to the fore as creative engineers, introducing game changing hybrid events, sampling, and creative spaces. And today, we're going to be taking an inside look into the behind the scenes of some of these projects and how a hybrid, low touch approach to campaigns could look like this year and beyond. So here with us today are Tagline's creative director, Mr. John De La Cruz, and managing director of Binary Digital, Miss Maria Anika Punzalan. Here they are, everybody. Sir
Hi.
John, Miss Anika, thank
Hi.
you for being with us today.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Hello. So today we're going to be finding out from the people behind Tagline on how they envision exciting possibilities for the future of brand engagements in this webinar. All right, so let's get to it. So since the pandemic last year, we've seen brands and businesses shifting to online platforms and launching their campaigns. And many of these experiences, Tagline designed or helped conceptualize, were centered around the concept of low-touch marketing. So, Sir John, if you can, as closely as you can, in one sentence, would it be possible for you to tell us what low-touch actually means?
Well, Kevin, low-touch marketing was basically derived from the term low-touch economy, and this came from the Board of Innovations. They basically described it as an era where businesses across the globe have been forced to mitigate the risk of, have been forced to operate to help mitigate the risk of COVID-19 infections. In the context of our campaigns and innovations for low-touch marketing, these are basically a calculated modification of our services towards the behavioral shifts that had been happening across all market segments. In a sense, we saw the need to re-engineer experiences for multidimensional engagements in the digital space, and of course, to provide brands with continuous engagements in spite of forced isolation, limited gatherings, social distancing, and other restrictions.
All right. And again, Anika, at any point, and Sir John as well, feel free to chime in if you have something that you'd want to mention as well or to add. All right. So now that's been settled, would it be fine if you could walk us through these kinds of low-touch campaigns? Because I want to talk about eLibrary, Quarantine, and VEEP, which are different, very different kinds of projects if you compare one to another. So when creating these projects, can you tell us what kinds of problems you were trying to solve by mounting these projects in particular? Sir John, Anika, please.
Yeah. Well, besides the need to provide brands the means for continuous engagements outside of established media or traditional media, we wanted to provide the public with a way for them to move on and go on with their lives in this new normal. It was for the group, for the Tagline Group, it was about wanting to showcase so many possibilities that that could happen with our trust in creative engineering. It was a way for us to provide a sense of normalcy, our contribution for people to adapt to the times, experience new things, connect them with their passions, and even discover authenticity in the midst of the clutter of brand messaging. Of course, we wanted to stay relevant, but we wanted to create amazing at the same time, and that's basically that's what we wanted out of it.
And it's maybe, one of the things that we love doing is really taking advantage of technology. And, there's no greater time to really do that than the advent of, the pandemic. Really, we wanted to give a sense of normalcy to our partners and even our consumers, and really, no, not just for the company to stay relevant, but the brands that we serve to stay relevant amidst the social distance. So, that's really where digital and creative engineering plays a big role, because at the end of the day, those who find a better solution will always be the one to stand out. And I feel like we were very quick to adapt to the situation, and provide something that can be of great use and impact during those times. Um, we saw a lot of opportunities in areas where face-to-face communication really was the core of the business or operations, right? But that's not something that's going to happen really very soon. So there's a lot of gaps to be resolved within the B2B and even B2C engagements, and that's what we're really after, and that's what's get us excited and motivated most of the time. So we see these gaps, and then we find ways to really address this, and in the end, coming up with really solutions and platforms that could help address these gaps.
Mhm. And there's actually so much to learn coming in from the experiences we've had since last year. The rise of new behaviors. It presents so many opportunities for us to identify and see the brighter ideas of things to come for marketing. Uh, right now, agencies are in a race to show us who can really maximize technology or come up with the better ones, and then combine these with innovative thinking and know-how to um, be able to come up with the more creative and more transformative solutions that everyone could enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think,
So
sorry, Kevin, no, just to add to what John said, because we always wanted to highlight transformative, because yes, while we do maximize technology, we make sure that what we do is something that could,
Mhm.
impact the lives of the people that we serve, or the people that will be the end users of this platform. Kasi baka, they might be thinking it's always like a wow, it should be a wow technology, right? At the
Yeah.
end of the day, if it's not usable, or it doesn't really address a particular gap, and it kind of leaves further gaps, diba? Then I mean, what's the sense? So really, that's something, customer experience or consumer experience and user experience, of course, is at the forefront of everything we do. So we make sure that those nitty-gritties are well taken care of.
yeah, I'm happy that you were able to say that, because in this new normal that we're working around, uh, sometimes we're stripped down to what's essential. So yung mga smoke and mirrors that we've gotten used to during physical events have now transformed into the necessity of us creating functionality, or on the end of on your end, you want to make it as, I suppose, seamless and enjoyable for the end user as well, which is why functionality should be well balanced, if you would mind me saying, should be well balanced with creativity as well. Kaya nga may
Yeah.
term that we've been mentioning since the start of this broadcast, creative engineers, right? So
Mhm.
would you be able to say that this is sort of a new term that came about during the new normal? And if so, would it be fine for you to explain what really is a creative engineer?
Yeah, Kevin, I would like to believe that the term creative engineer or creative engineering was something that um, was formed way back, even way back, way before the pandemic. But it's something that we lived through since our inception. Because ever since Tagline started, I think that there was always a purposeful approach to how the people previous to us being here approach problems. At the core of what we do is a purposeful approach to answer clients' problems and needs and challenges to move their business forward. We look at briefs in such a way that we are able to identify or opportunities to impact a brand by considering the values that are more important to their customers. Every idea should be able to create this path to come up with innovative campaigns or meaningful solutions to move people, to inspire growth, and to contribute to stimulate transformation in the world around us. All of these are, when you say creative engineering, because it's not just about technology, right? It could be something as simple as manual, diba? Something that doesn't involve circuits or binaries, diba? But it's something that is meaningful enough for it to be used in a new way. And these are derived from insights, and of course, we also derive this from on-target data gathering. The strategies that we do to understand consumer sentiment. Even next, sorry.
That's
It's all
okay.
right.
Yeah, but actually, I would have to agree. That's also what I have in mind. This is not something that was born out of the pandemic. Definitely, that's at the core of the tagline DNA. So we are always, finding or looking out for the best possible solution at the time of need. Well, actually, not just to address a pressing need of a time, but I would like to believe that we are very proactive because all of the things that we have put in together during the pandemic, this is a combination of the things that we have done previously. So it was creative engineering in that sense, is putting it all together, coming up with a sole platform that actually caters everything together, and coming up with a more immersive experience, and in turn gives our consumers, resonates more to our consumers, and therefore delivers more meaningful engagements.
All right. Thank you, Sir John. Thank you, Miss Anika. Now, I'd want to move into talking about virtual events. All right. Because as someone who's hosted numerous virtual events with you guys as well for the past year and including this year as well, I get asked this question quite often also. And I want to hear it from you guys so I know how to properly answer these questions as well. So, how are these hybrid events or campaigns different from, let's say, a Zoom call, like or like or like augmented reality or virtual reality? How are these going beyond just chat boxes? Hope you wouldn't mind talking about these innovations, Miss Anika. Perhaps you can start.
Yeah. So, as I shared earlier, we really wanted the experience to be more immersive. And, Tagline has been known in the industry for our creative execution, diba? It's always a combination of immersive engagements that we design offline. And now, because of our digital capabilities, no, we were able to patch these things up together, and put it online, right? And hopefully this is something that could bring in a sense of normalcy to the people who use it, because they would actually feel as if they were actually going to an actual on ground activity. So we were really proud to come up with an industry first. Um, we actually wanted to yun nga, we wanted to influence that sense of normalcy through this platform that we created. So right that very moment, that was a challenge. How do we continue brand engagements online, diba? There are many platforms available, like you said. There are Zooms, chats, AR and VRs, but we were thinking, what if we could put this all together in one platform, so there are many opportunities for them to engage not just with the brand, but with the people inside the community or the platform. So that's how the platform came about. Of course, there are so many things that we had to consider. Definitely structure, data integrity, system integrity. Of course, user bandwidth, that's very important, because at the end of the day, even if we wanted to put as much things as we want in there, we want our users to be able to enjoy what's there, no, with whatever bandwidth that they have, so that it's because, well, digital should really be inclusive, diba? The reason why it's there, it's because we wanted to maximize our reach and more people can actually see our events, no, versus going say to a specific mall in the metro, diba? So that's already a limitation, although we know that um nothing could ever replace a live event, right? But while we're constrained to what we have right now, we just try to give the best possible experience and make you feel that you're there while you're facing your screens.
Tama, tama. Sir John, anything that you'd like to add to that as well?
Technical, no? Technical. Well, yeah. Well, like what Anika said, we've been in the event circuit for the longest time. Um, we somehow allows us to appreciate consumer interests and behaviors from the ground up, enough for us to creatively engineer moments, even in the online platform. So simply what we understand from the consumers, having made use of this from our on-ground activations and events previously, and applying all these learnings and insights to digital. Um, you know what's interesting right now is that there's still more for us to do. Really, we haven't really scratched the surface in terms of hybrid. Right, it was good. We were the first. We were one of the first to mount hybrid events in the country, way before the advent of Zoom fatigue. But what we have witnessed right now are very safe executions of hybrid events, the likes of very simple conventions. We haven't gone to uh, the festival type of hybrid events or the concert type of hybrid events, or this have been very limited in terms of what we've seen here in the country and even abroad. So it's exciting. Like Anika said, no, it is an integration of everything that is possible to be put in, but we feel that somehow it has been a safe execution so far, really, as in the context of hybrid events and virtual events for that matter.
All right, it's good that we were able to talk about this whole thing with going beyond Zoom calls or chat boxes, because I want to set this up for what I want for you guys to talk about next. Now, this is pretty mind blowing for me because when I started last year hosting virtual events with you guys, kala ko, oh, it's just maybe hosting in front of the camera and broadcasting it
Mhm.
as if it's just like we're producing a television program, right? An
Yeah.
interactive television program. But what you guys did, you took it a step further. And this is something that I just thought would be possible in the movies, but I'm not going to preempt anything. But what I'd want you guys to talk about and perhaps take us through this whole experience is this project or this platform that you developed called VEEP, which is Virtual Events and Activations Platform. Now, for the benefit of those that aren't familiar with VEEP, would it be possible for you guys to tell us more about that and perhaps to walk us through this whole immersive virtual experience as well?
Nix, would you like to do this?
Sige. Okay. Oh, so basically, the virtual events and activations platform, the name itself suggests it's a virtual events and activations platform. So you make sure that the features are really very immersive and would cater to the same requirements that you have with the live events. So it starts with the registration. So whether it's a pre-registration or an on-site registration, we can do that. We can cater to, of course, public and private events. By private meaning we are able to issue unique passcodes. So if you don't have that, you won't be able to enter the event because there are really events that are sensitive. So we make sure that in the absence of security or bouncers who will check your invites or will check your RSVPs, our system is able to do that. Once you get past registration, of course, there's a wide array of functionalities that you can enjoy. For example, there's an integration of game. It can be a flat out game that you can just play while waiting for the actual plenary or actual event to start. That can be integrated with a raffle system. The raffle system can be automated, so meaning you are rewarded immediately upon playing a game, or you get a raffle coupon which you can claim during the main event, right? We are also able to integrate audio video presentation, so you can watch a video. So definitely brands can place in their TVCs or whatever corporate videos that they have, or maybe sponsors video, diba? There can be music. So the music is something that can be placed as a playlist, can be placed as they enter the events platform. So really everything can be customized. Of course, we are after sales KPIs, so there's also e-commerce integration. So you have the option to actually um, do the payment gateway within the platform, or maybe if you have an existing payment system or e-commerce system, we can just redirect it to your existing. We can just do those types of integration, and of course, the main highlight of our platform is our plenary, wherein we host our hybrid events, the one that you experienced. And you see naman, diba? You saw naman, I mean, how different it is from an actual, flat video conferencing. So we can do that in 2D and 3D technology. And yun nga, like what John mentioned earlier, we are always growing. We are always improving. We started with one product, that is VEEP Motion. So VEEP Motion is actually done in 3D technology system. What sets it apart is that you can actually customize your own avatar, and this avatar goes throughout the space as if you're there. So, and then yung feeling that you're navigating a space. So it's like you're playing, an RPG, diba? So it's really nice, and it's best enjoyed with a desktop. But seeing that, of course, 3D technology can only cater to the backing, can only cater to as much as clients or as consumers. We wanted to create something that's more lightweight in terms of size, so that there can be more activities or maybe more functions that we can further integrate. So we came up with VEEP Live. So VEEP Live technically is into the technology, but you'll never feel it once you're inside, because we make sure that the environment works just like how a 3D space would look like. So this one can be best enjoyed, of course, both can be best enjoyed via mobile, but definitely that's something that can be browsed via web browser as well. So currently, there are two VEEP thematic environments. So VEEP Motion in 3D, and then VEEP Live in 2D/3D technology. So yeah, imagine in just 1 year, those are the things that we were able to do. So it's really always geared towards keeping up with the trends, looking out for the trends, looking at the consumers, feeling the consumers pulse, what we learned from the previous events, what is yet to come, and how we can further maximize it. So yeah, that's VEEP for you.
Thank you. You know what, Miss Anika, I actually had a few questions that I wanted to ask you, pero lahat sinagot nyo na throughout your whole presentation
Oh, yun, dami ko
already.
sinabi.
Sir John, is there anything that you'd like to add to that as well?
Galing, no? Basically,
Super.
Anika led the team in the development of the technology. No? So, galing. Analytics is also part really of the VEEP technology, and besides these, we simply made sure that everything's immersive, everything's as engaging as possible. The activities there in the VEEP are based really on activities that are being performed by people on ground. From music to gaming to sharing to videos to ordering and purchasing. So everything's basically there in that platform. And what's good about it also is it's customizable. You can have a feel of an environment in whatever thematic goal you have, objective you have, whether it's for a conference or a concert or an intimate setup that you want. It's easily customizable. The difference really is that VEEP Motion has a more gamified feel to it when you navigate it. VEEP Live provides you already with an environment that you should simply put in the functions that you want for your consumers to enjoy.
Okay, so for the benefit of those that might experience VEEP in the future, for VEEP Motion, which you mentioned is best experienced through desktop, would it still be possible for the end users to experience it through their mobiles, or kailangan desktop talaga siya?
Actually, definitely, but we have to make it an app because, just like your RPG games, the file size is really quite big. So it has to be further optimized for mobile. And really, at this point, mobile browsers won't really be able to do that. So for them to be able to access it via mobile, then definitely it should be an app.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you very
I
much.
think if I may, VIP Live naman, because of the light, it is lightweight in terms of the space that it consumes. You can access these on mobile. No, I think this time the team made it a point that more people, outside of those who are really based on looking at viewing on laptops, I
Yeah.
would be able to access this on mobile at a minimum requirement also of data.
Okay. And that comes with the interactive activities as well for VEEP Live.
Yes. For VIP Live, yes. Basically, VIP Live also showcases almost the same functions that you would be seeing in VIP Motion. It is easy to navigate. You would have multiple engagement formats for music, gaming, sharing, and videos. Intelligent brand detailing is important because we want to integrate information about the brands that we carry. You have real-time interaction as well via chat, social media sharing. I mentioned that. Guest count trackers are there. Analytics is there for clients to be able to appreciate the movement and the sentiments of their customers inside that space in real time, and it gives you real time feedback, and of course, ad spaces. Ad space
Mhm.
is very important, diba? So it's there. It's integrated. Everything's integrated there.
All right. Thank you, Sir John. Thank you, Miss Anika. Now, moving on to the next thing that I'd like for you guys to talk about is that, needless to say, I understand that Tagline has been very busy with various projects that you launched during the quarantine. And I'd like for you guys to walk us through everything one by one. Specifically for this particular project, the Globe eLibrary, being that it's already online now, correct?
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, but you're also going to be launching the app soon, right?
We are launching the app very soon. So that's
Okay.
something that we actually just finished working and hopefully we can publish very soon.
Okay, yeah, something to look forward to at least. So this Globe eLibrary, in essence, provides thousands of free titles of books, modules, and projects for students and teachers. So by developing this, what was the problem that you felt needed to be solved here? And if possible, would you be able to share with us also the brief from Globe as to how you came about in developing this product?
Yes, actually, it was really more of a technology or platform challenge for us because Globe came up with this very good idea of coming up with, an engaging and age appropriate platform that contains all these resource materials, like books, learning videos that you can actually well that the users could actually read through and download. No, I guess one of the pressing problems at time is, continuing education because definitely face to face or classroom setting can won't be able to happen, right? Kids won't lose their access to libraries and other reading materials that they could, normally physically get their hands on. So even teachers would have the same problems, right? So with Globe eLibrary, it's really meaning to, empower the students and the teachers alike to be able to continue learning and give them access to a wide array of titles, of learning videos, and even alternative modules that they can use while continuing their studies at home. So yeah, it's actually while we're waiting for the app to be published, it's available online.
Oh,
So
it's
it's
there.
a globelibrary.ph, so you can access it via your desktop. It's also very mobile friendly. So really the challenge here is, how do we come up with a system that could actually host the number of titles that they have and will still access, right? And then what's good about this platform is that it comes to no cost to the user. So when you actually go to the website and you read a book or download the book, um, it will not require any data expense from your end. So in that way, that's really an added value, because maybe, people would think na they would rather not do it because baka ang mahal ng data consumption because of the number of the pages of the book, the size of the video, right? But no, so we invite everyone to actually try it out. There's a lot of titles available from actual school books, no, different subjects, from our well-loved literature. There are also a lot of videos, how-tos, and actually storytelling. So it comes in different formats and different titles. So yeah, it's actually um, an e-library.
Pretty much, as the name suggests.
Yes, yes.
Sir John, anything else that you'd like to add?
Hats off to Anika and her team for coming up with it. Our CEO and the managing directors of our member agencies, Anika and I included, are united in the view that it is campaigns like these, or campaigns like these, are the ones that help move agencies and brands forward. You want impact for the longer term, make it matter. Make it matter to people. I think the pandemic put brands under the microscope, and people are more discerning these days, and they look more favorably to brands that really demonstrate a genuine interest in their well-being. So yeah, hats off to Anika and her team.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you
But
very much.
yeah, we also would, give credit to our partners from Globe for coming up with a really this kinds of programs, and helping us also make a difference by doing this project.
Yeah, lots of interesting things that you guys have been up to. In fact, the next thing that I'd want to put the spotlight on is something that interests me personally as a film enthusiast as well, because you have another platform or another project called Quarantine, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yep,
Yep.
quarantine.
Quarantine is a mobile filmmaking competition. And I understand that you guys are the first to launch this during last year's quarantine. Would that be correct to say?
Yes, sir. Yes, Kevin.
All right.
Yes, Kevin.
So for those that aren't too familiar with what Quarantine is, can you tell us more what it's
Mhm.
about and how you were able to pull this off?
Well, we were in the midst of it was during the first phases of the lockdowns that we were experiencing the chaos, and we were finding trouble understanding and making sense of life in quarantine. We've never experienced it before, so everyone was sad, and it was chaotic, and we wanted the information to come in, and everyone was trying to find a sense of normalcy in their lives. Everyone was on their cell phones. They were clamoring for great content. You have some other platforms that provided entertainment, platforms that provide news, and if people were trying to look for great content, and trying to understand what was happening those days, we thought there is some market to this. It was an opportunity for brands to provide what I said earlier, a genuine
Yeah.
interest in society's well-being. And if people were always on their phones, and if they were looking for great content, and if they wanted an outlet for creativity, why not do a mobile filmmaking competition? And the creative challenge was very much present during those times. We had to answer the question, oh, sige, how do you really creatively use your resources and create a film
Mhm.
amid social isolation? So that was the germ of an idea for Quarantine, and we termed it Movies Made on Lockdown. We launched it on social media. We had a website created for it for film submission. You can still watch the top 10 films there
All right,
on the
great.
website. Yeah. And then got in contact with some of the country's top directors and invited them to conduct workshops for the amateur filmmakers. And in less than 2 months, we were able to gather more than 100 entries. It would be good to mention that the top three films of the Quarantine made it to the International Film Festival Manhattan.
Oh, wow.
One film was awarded a prize in the film festival. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was a great experience for us to come up with such a timing. Let's talk about timing, right? The time, the opportunity was there. The challenge, the creative challenge was ever present, and so we thought this is something we can really do, and we can do our share during those difficult times.
Mhm. And not to mention that during those times, video was the most consumed
True.
format online, right? So
Yeah.
we were also trying to provide a different source of content or a different kind of content, especially that, the influx of negative news and fake news was, all over the place. So that's one thing that we are also trying to, arrest and provide, a different kind of content to consume, a more positive one in that sense and more inspiring. And actually, when the team also did quite a number of webinars with the directors that we've gotten in touch with. So yeah, we were also able to conduct some webinars, free webinars, for amateur filmmakers during those times.
So, out of personal curiosity, and I'm sure the people watching here also might be curious to find out if they want to check out these critically acclaimed or yung mga award-winning film entries sa Quarantine. How can they watch this? Where do they go for them to be able to watch this?
Actually, they just have to go to the website, quarantine.com. So can be accessible in any browser. The top 10 films are still there. You can view it, easily share it, or actually, no, you cannot download it. I'm so sorry. You can just view it. You can just view it. You can just view it on the website. Yes.
Quarantine.com.
.com. Yes.
Okay. It's on my tab already on the browser here. Mamaya papanoorin ko na yan. All right. So now moving on to another project that you guys did. You also launched Freebies. That provides immersive experiences and brand activities for users in exchange for freebies. Can you share how the whole platform came together, Sir John, Miss Anika?
Okay. When the pandemic came in, safety protocols basically put a stop to sampling activities, which was an essential part of our business in brand activations. The fact that you cannot discount sampling as it opens up opportunities for conversations, it gives you quick feedback, it boosts sales. No, it is very integral when you launch a new product, and those were our reasons on why we really came up with freebies. Actually, it was one of our agencies, 5 seconds advertising, that came up with freebies. I know it's a highly interactive digital promo sampling website. You can't find really much of those here, but freebies allows brands to be showcased in the website, categorized according to their market profile. You may raise a poll, you may answer surveys, you may feature videos, live shows, and conduct games or play games for just for the simple reason, just for you to get a product, no, or a sample. It is promising in a sense, because you have niche communities online, you have natural communities online, and people easily generate what they call is gravitate towards free stuff. So it's just a matter of filtering out the unnecessary to get the ideal market that you originally had in mind when you created a space for the brand. So that's basically freebies. You can right now where more improvements are coming in to the website, but in a few months, people will get to experience more of freebies. This was already launched last July on social media. Uh, the agency had exciting games and gave out so many prizes to so many people in trying to build a fan base for the platform. But it will be coming in soon once more in just in a couple of months. So we're yeah, that's basically freebies. It's exciting. It's exciting. We're actually excited about it because you don't see much of those platforms here in the country,
Yeah,
and even
exactly.
abroad. It is a marketing tool that uh, um, that hasn't really been maximized. But some people see really the power of uh, online sampling, digital sampling, because you have natural communities out there who can, patronize brands.
Parang extreme couponing talaga, no? But
Oh,
that's really a perfect example of creative engineering. It really hats off to our team for 5 seconds, because the journey was really well thought of. It's not just actual the regular sampling is already there, but when you put it online, how can you maximize
mhm.
that technology to actually work for your client, meaning in the kinds of activities that you will do, and how will we be able to actually integrate research there, and
Mhm.
then how can it be more entertaining to your users. Actually, for every activity that you do within the site, you earn points, and that points can turn into rewards eventually. So it's not just really you will not just go there to request for a sample kit or a sample package, but to really um learn more about the brands in different formats, whether it be games, whether it be an ad sampler, a video. So it's all there.
Yeah.
I think you guys are a breath of fresh air for all the brands who were caught in uncertainty during the pandemic. Kasi ang daming na sacrifice sa mga projects and I'm pretty sure because they didn't know how to move about. But now with you guys putting all these together, virtually or hybrid or whatnot, at least they can still execute their campaigns, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? Digital transformation, we always talk about digital transformation. We were always anticipating it. Everyone's trying to be proactive about it, but nobody nobody really felt uh,
Urgency.
the urgency
Yeah.
until the pandemic hit us. And because these are the things that we have been mapping uh, for the longest time. Na ano lang na madali lang,
Yeah.
na madali lang din naman na to offer it out already. So, yeah, it was good that these are the things that we have started to work on from the beginning, and with the experience that we have coming from, well, bragging aside, our mastery of our BTL executions, no, and really naman the grit to really push everything towards digitalization. So this is all that we got for them.
So in a way,
Yeah.
parang na-expedite lang yung inevitable.
It is, yeah, it did. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
right now, we during the first few months when these technologies were launched out in the market for clients to use, they were quite wary because it wasn't as hasn't been used before. They were looking for proofs of concept, but concepts were there. So right now we're seeing more confidence from clients in wanting to use the platforms. So it's exciting times this year for us.
Yeah, it really is. So, based on everything that we talked about, I have two questions for the two of you. So, based on the projects that you guys managed to pull off in 2020, number one, what were your clients' responses to them? And second, what are your takeaways from it?
Okay, our innovations and our campaigns, have been subject to have been the result of the learnings and insights that we have gathered over years and years of experience in people engagement. I think we've been doing this for so many times, for several times. We've been doing this even prior to the pandemic. We simply applied what we knew on ground and what we were doing on ground to digital. So basically, I'd like to share to our clients that we've been experts at this. We have been experts in doing this for the longest time. It is just a sort of an integration of what we were doing to the digital space, but basically, it's the same, and everything's based on insight. We've gathered data to make this work even better for our clients and their brands. Has been carefully studied, and they can really depend on this, for to help their brands move forward.
Yeah, and it's a continuous learning process. I mean,
True.
at the end of the day, you are just as good as your last event. I mean, we don't expect that the the last functions of our previous platform may not be relevant in the next coming month. So we have to always be on our toes, really learn from our really take in the learnings from the past, because as much as we want it to be seamless, it's not always the case, especially with technology, right? So we really look into points for improvement, but in a holistic manner, whether it be audience engagement, even with our client partnership, the technology that we use, how can we, are there any other softwares that would, be more efficient for us? So it's always end to end. It's always end to end when we do it. So it's a non-stop learning process. It's just we just always have to be on our toes, be always looking for the next best thing. And yeah, as long as we are, steps ahead, then I think we should be able to provide, the best possible platform out there.
If I may also, no, I'd like to reiterate that we have barely scratched the surface of what we have put out in the market. Hybrid event, for example, um, it has been a very safe execution of what we've been seeing these days. So clients, you know, um, like what Anika said, it is a continuous improvement on our part of the platform, and we're keeping in mind always that what we do is based on the insights that we've learned, and we want to be brave enough to come up with a more daring performances or the more daring executions to showcase a grander spectacle even on the screen, for their audiences to enjoy.
Okay, so now to look outward, to see the bigger picture. And this is very important for everybody to hear, especially from you guys as well, who are trailblazers and experts in your field. Now that we've gone through this whole new normal in 2020, how do you see event activations and brand marketing evolving this year and beyond?
Okay. Okay, I'll start it. Okay. Um, you know, um, in terms of virtual, in terms of hybrid, yes. Um, I think people will have more confidence to attend public gatherings, but this will be based this will be based on how agencies are able to formulate the safer means for engagement post pandemic. Virtually, we'll be seeing more engagements. Clients' confidence is already growing. We're seeing this right now. We're seeing more events, virtual events, and hybrid events happening. Um, we feel that they'll be seeing a lot more return of investment because of sponsorship and the integration of e-commerce in the platforms. We're seeing the integration of augmented reality, more use of virtual reality, a careful use of mixed reality, and the integration of even AI so in the platform. So this ensures that people will be getting more experiences and experiencing more spectacle and other excitement when they attend hybrid or virtual events. So yun nga, it's you go as far as your imagination can bring you when you attend this. No.
Yeah. And it's, it's ever evolving considering the changing behaviors of our consumers. Um, we've seen a lot of shifts, from the pandemic, parang from as affected by the pandemic. And that only goes to show that really there will be a whole lot of consideration that we have to take into account. Like what John said, we have barely scratched the surface. No, maybe at this point we are wowed by what we have because this is not something that has been maximized for the longest time, right? But there are still a lot of things that we have to consider. But yeah, because this is something that we have been carefully looking into since last year. We have been very keen on looking into the analytics or the data that we get, the insight that we get from our users and even our clients. So we have already, lined up the next few phases of improvements that would happen in our virtual events and activations platforms, and even the supplementing technologies that we would be integrating very, very soon.
All right, thank you very much. Now, before we wrap everything up, I just want to ask one last question to the two of you, and perhaps along with your answer, you can give us your parting words as well. What is next for the Tagline Group, Sir John? Perhaps.
Okay. In everything we do, we try to make it different. We try to do it different. Everything that we do, we try to do it differently. Uh, um, we've been fortunate really to have a management that espouses exploration rather than us being structured. That pushes us to be more solutions oriented, and this inspires us to come up with things that are different, that are innovative, and that really matter to the people around us. Um, right now, we are in the process of improving. It is a continuous it's a continuous process to improve the things that we launched, the innovations and that we launched last year, and we're back to the drawing boards to come up with better ones, or even other innovations that would really be more effective tools for marketing. uh, it's about if we can find break the barrier of digital to find a bridge to connect human experiences in the virtual space, that would be good. No, but we're still trying to find the answers for that. And for as long as we stick to our DNA as creative engineers of transformative solutions for meaningful engagements, then we're sure to come up with uh, the exciting products that we could have for people to enjoy.
Yeah, the best is always yet to come for us. It's a continuous, it's a nonstop cycle of learning, of evolving, and we owe a lot to our management and of course our team members who really sticks to the to our brand DNA and really lives up to that tagline culture. That's why we're able to do what we were able to do. And we're very positive that this is something that we can continue for as long as we're here to serve.
All right, thank you very much. And to everybody watching, a virtual round of applause to our two very esteemed guests, Mr. John Dela Cruz and Miss Anika Punzalan. Thank you very much.
Thank you
And
also.
Thank you to
Thank
the both of
you.
you for
See
having
you
me over and
together.
for allowing
Thank
me
you so much.
to
Thank
ask you
you.
all these questions. Thank you very much. All right, so now to wrap up, here is a short message from Tagline CEO Jovy Rabelas.
Creative engineering has always been at the core of the Tagline Group. With the new normal, we're able to explore the limits of our creativity within the current circumstances. And we are proud of what our group of agencies has achieved during these extraordinary times. In the age of disruption, marketing and brand activations continue to evolve alongside changing needs and behaviors. Our innovations are a continuous work in progress that will help further bridge virtual spaces and authentic human connections. Tagline will constantly work towards cutting-edge, transformative solutions that foster meaningful engagements. On behalf of the Tagline Group, thank you for tuning in to our conversation with our Chief Creative Officer, John Dela Cruz, and Binary Digital Advertising's Managing Director, Anika Punzalan. We hope that Tagline will be there for your brand's needs to create memorable, rich experiences for your audience during this new normal and beyond.
All right, thank you very much, Jovy Rabelas. And thank you once again to our viewers who joined us today and to the Tagline team who generously shared his and her insights and the process of this campaign. Thank you very much. Once again, a big hand for Mr. John Dela Cruz, Ms. Anika Punzalan. Maraming salamat po sa inyong dalawa. And if you're just joining us now, you may catch this video on demand on Facebook and our official YouTube channel. Once again, this is Adobo Talks X, organized by Adobo Magazine, the word on creativity in partnership with the Tagline Group. This has been Kevin La Peña. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch all of you down the line. Have a good day, everybody.